Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, gonna do some unboxing. I have cut it open to make sure that everything was here, but we went ahead and ordered the Ortur, however that's pronounced, Master Laser 2, and we're gonna do some unboxing. I ordered it from one site first that didn't ship it out in the time that they were supposed to do it, and it was taking forever and it kept getting pushed back, so I canceled that order finally and ended up finding it on AliExpress with the rotary piece just for I think free shipping and $18 more than the other site. So that's when I was like, yeah, let's definitely cancel the other one, let's get this one ordered. And it came in, what, maybe 2 weeks, and it was here, shipped out, and got here faster than they said it was going to. So awesome on them. Definitely check that one out. And we're gonna do the rotary later. We'll do a full build and usage of that one video at another day. So, what I did find when I first opened this up is that it came with this cool letter in here that they actually upgraded this particular package randomly, and it came with the fixed focus laser, which is the new upgrade they say is going to come out in the second quarter of this year. So, we'll check it out. But fixed focus instead of the adjustable focus. I did look online at that, and basically, which right here it is, you can adjust the height of this a little bit and you don't have to focus it. And it comes with a piece here that is how far you're supposed to be away from the laser to your material that you're cutting. So super easy, it's going to be awesome to use. But let's get into this box, pull all the pieces out, make sure we have everything, and then put it together. I have to say, pretty good packaging. Check that out. Foam filled nicely. Everything is snug in there. And here are all the pieces. Not a whole lot of different pieces, and basically no instructions. I'm gonna lay out the rails and then kind of start figuring out where pieces go. And then we'll look at the build. X-axis assembly. Makes it pretty easy to figure out which side is which. There we go. Screws, a brush, control module we won't need to lay. I'm going to move these out of the way so we can have more access. Okay, so in this little package, it does come with a few pieces of wood, small little piece of acrylic as well, brush, a wrench, and all of the hardware. Allen in there as well. Zip ties. Our base anchors are in here. Timing belts I'll put over here with the motor. This is called a split wire loom inserter tool. The backboard for the laser. So the laser will go on that, and then that mounts on the axis. Yep. Perfect in there. Y-axis limit switch. So we have all the parts. Okay, broke down, downloaded some instructions. Got some angle nuts and some T-nuts that we're going to start with. Get some of the screws ready. Long ones are going to go through the bar and into the other piece. But before we do that, we actually need to get some of these in place so that we don't have to undo it and then put it back together. Alright, we're starting with the L brackets. They go in the longer pieces. Now, they will only slide in one way. They're actually set up and keyed in a way that they won't go all the way in. So, all the way in. And there are 4 of those for your 4 corners. So throw those in first. They all have little grub screws in them. Make sure to loosen that grub screw so that you can slide it in. Alright, now here's the part you don't want to get ahead of yourself. If you put this on there and screw them together with the long ones first, you will have to take it back off and put the T-nuts on at a later time. So, get those in first. 2 into each one. Alright, now we're able to slide the other side of the L bracket on and put our screw in. You have 4 of the longer screws. They are all Phillips. Just grab a Phillips head, tighten them up. I like to not tighten anything overly tight in case we have to adjust anything. So it's just enough that it's not going to slide around on you. Alright, now we've got that, like I said, not too tight, but it is holding it on. Next part we're going to do is we're going to slide the gantry on. So this is just line it up correctly. Short side. So when you angle it back a little bit, you can get it in, slide it on, and boom, we have it on. Now we will come back, do some tightening, some angling on that. The belt's not tight, but let's move on to the next section. Okay guys, after the X-axis is on, the gantry is on, what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 belts and we are going to feed them through. They actually go on the top of the extruded aluminum. You put it groove side down, and what you're going to do is you're going to go under the first wheel, then you want it to come up, go around where the gear's at for when the motor spins it, and then you're going to go back down and under the other wheel and stretch it out to the end. Do that on both sides, one for each side. There's grooves on both sides of this bar that goes across the gantry. Be a little tricky, so I'm just using one of the zip ties. I'm putting it down in between so that when I feed it through, I can get underneath the belt and pull it up and get it on top of the groove. Alright, got both of those through. Now we're going to move on to the feet. Now, it comes with 3 individual feet, because the 4th one is actually built into your control board right here. So what we're doing is make sure you've got the front side of the gantry. That's where this one's going to go. So we're going to do the other 3 first. Now let me show you this. Right up here, if we get real close to this, you'll see this little slot. Now that is going to have the belt go through it, and then we'll put a washer on the outside, and that's how we cinch it down. We slide the belt through that. We're going to use 2 little screws and a washer. 1 screw on the first one does not need a washer. That goes into the T-nut that we slid into it earlier. Other one, washer, and bolt it into the end where there's the hole, and just tighten it down. Alright, done one. Gonna do the other 2, and then I'll show you about this one. This is where we use the limit switch as well as the controller. Now you might have to adjust this later on getting the belt tension. You want it tight, you don't want it too tight. That feels pretty good, you can feel it, see how it feels. If it has a ton of flex in it, it's not going to move properly. It may skip around, but get a feel for that and keep on going. Alright, and that's 3 out of the 4 legs. Let's spin this bad boy around. We'll take a look at the limit switch. Now, so here is our limit switch. Now this is where we tighten it on this side, because there is not a spot here at all. So we're going to go ahead and get this set up. Tensioner through there and get it tightened on. Alright, so you feed that through. We've got one more T-nut that is for this. So we're going to slide it up in there. And this is actually where the machine is going to stop. So we're going to get a pretty good idea of where this needs to be. And we might have to adjust it a little bit later. But for now, we will go with basically having the back of it at the back of that. Alright, now if that's too far, we can adjust it, but we'll go with that right now. Last piece to get on is going to be the control board. Now it's got 3 different sections. Looks like USB, power, and I'm not sure what this one is yet. I'll find out. It might be the rotary piece. Alright, we've got our last 2 screws. One in the last T-nut. And one through into the middle bar again. Alright, got that screwed on. Alright, I'm going to plug in the wire right now while I'm here. There's 3 different slots that can be plugged into. Only one of them is a 2-prong for the limit switch. So it goes right into that one. There we go. Sits right against the back of that, plugs in perfect. Okay, next step, Gantry Motor. Now this is basically we're going to do the same thing, right? We want a little bit of slack in the middle. We'll get it up over these grooves, and then it's just 4 screws. Fits right in there. Plug to the top. Alright, belt's not very tight. You can see how much it's flexing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and loosen the screw over here, pull the belt a little bit tighter, and get it where I like it. Alright, yep, a little bit tighter there, a little bit of pushback, but perfect. Next step, we're going to do the actual laser mounting. So this just has a little, looks like they cut it out of acrylic and didn't pull the protection down. So we'll get that peeled off. Alright, nice little piece of black acrylic. Going to pull the laser out because we're going to put that on the laser first before we put it on the gantry. Alright, here is the laser module. And within the bag, got this little part. This is for adjusting the height. It's going to come in here and tighten it up to the side. And then that's going to lock in the adjuster. With it loose, you can adjust it up and down. This is the piece that you use underneath it to get your distance. And how this goes is that there are 2. It's going to sit right there. It's going to go right here. Now these are our last two little screws. Fit right in, tighten those up. Now we have that on. You can see the adjustment. So let's throw it on the gantry and get those on. Also came with a wrench to tighten those. So we'll tighten those up. Our adjustment. So what it'll be when you use this little piece, you'll set your height and then just tighten it where you need it. Alright, last step is the looms. Now they can only plug in one way. You got the single one that's going to come up here. Just make sure you face it the right direction. So it will snap in right there. The middle section will all snap in up here. Again, they're all different sizes, so you're going to know exactly where to plug them in. Now these only plug in one direction, so if you're getting any pushback, make sure that you're plugging in the right way. And then into our control board. Boom. Perfect. Snapped in. That is everything together. Now, I do not have a computer out here that I can run it with, so we're going to go inside. Alright guys, here we are. Got it all set up, plugged in the computer. We are using a trial version of Lightburn. So now you can see how this works. We're going to just sit it on top of that and on top of the piece we're going to test cut. This is one of the pieces that came with it. So tighten that up there. Now we can pull this out. Alright, we're going to run the frame in Lightburn. Make sure we are all within it, and we are. Alright guys, there you have it. That is the first cut on it. That was at 20%. Alright guys, just wanted to do one more test cut here real quick. The first one was on 20% and I've turned it up to 50%, so we'll see how it does. Alright guys, and that's what we get. All finished up there. That is 50%.
Looks awesome. You can feel this one just a little bit. It did cut down in a bit. And don't forget, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.